You've been tired. Not the I need more sleep kind of tired. The kind where you wake up after 8 hours and still feel like you haven't slept at all. You eat, and an hour later, you're starving again. Your belly keeps growing, even though you haven't really changed what you eat. Most doctors will tell you you're fine. Your blood sugar comes back normal. But here's what they're not checking, and what a 2021 study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism confirmed affects up to 40% of American adults without them knowing it. Your body may already be becoming insulin resistant. And the number one sign? You've probably felt it today. In the next 10 minutes, you'll learn exactly what that sign is, why your doctor misses it on standard blood tests, and what 5 peer-reviewed studies say you can do about it, starting today. Here's something most people don't realize. Insulin resistance doesn't start with diabetes. It starts years, sometimes decades, before. Think of insulin like a key. Its job is to unlock your cells so glucose, your body's fuel, can get inside. But when you become insulin resistant, the lock gets jammed. The key is there. It's turning, but the door won't open. So your pancreas panics. It pumps out more insulin, trying to force the door. And for a while, it works. Your blood sugar stays normal. That's why your standard lab test shows nothing wrong. But behind the scenes, your cells are drowning in insulin. And that excess insulin is doing something most people never connect to their symptoms. A 2019 meta-analysis in Diabetes Care, analyzing data from over 7,000 participants, found that insulin resistance was detectable through symptoms and biomarkers an average of 7 years before a type 2 diabetes diagnosis. 7 years. That's 7 years where you could have reversed it completely. Here's the pattern break. Ask yourself this. When was the last time you felt genuinely energized after lunch? Not just okay, actually energized. If you're struggling to remember, keep watching. The sign is this: an energy crash 1 to 2 hours after eating. Not just feeling a little tired. A real crash. Brain fog, heavy eyelids, difficulty concentrating, sometimes even a low mood that seems to come out of nowhere. Here's why it happens. When you eat, especially carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. Insulin rushes in to handle it. But in an insulin-resistant body, that insulin response is exaggerated and mistimed. Your pancreas overshoots. Blood sugar drops too fast, too hard. The result? Your brain, which runs almost entirely on glucose, suddenly gets starved. And it panics. Researchers at Stanford published findings in Cell Metabolism in 2020 showing that people with early-stage insulin resistance had post-meal glucose crashes up to 34% deeper than metabolically healthy individuals, and reported significantly higher rates of afternoon fatigue and cravings. That post-lunch slump you've normalized? That's not aging. That's not laziness. That's your metabolism sending you a distress signal. Mini story. One participant in that Stanford study, a 44-year-old teacher, had been drinking a 3rd cup of coffee every afternoon for 6 years to get through her day. She thought she just wasn't a high-energy person. After addressing her insulin sensitivity, her afternoon energy normalized within 3 weeks. Same diet, same sleep, different metabolic function. Let's go one layer deeper, because understanding the mechanism is what makes this real. When insulin can't do its job efficiently, your body compensates in 3 major ways, and each one creates a symptom you've probably been blaming on something else. First, your liver starts overproducing glucose even when you haven't eaten. This causes blood sugar to be elevated in the morning, what's called fasting hyperglycemia. You wake up groggy not because of bad sleep, but because your liver worked overtime while you slept. Second, excess insulin signals your body to store fat, specifically around the abdomen. Visceral fat, the dangerous kind that wraps around your organs. A 2022 study in Nature Metabolism confirmed that elevated fasting insulin, even with normal blood glucose, was independently associated with visceral fat accumulation in non-diabetic adults. Third, high circulating insulin suppresses a hormone called glucagon, which your body needs to access stored fat for energy. Translation: Even if you're eating less, your body physiologically cannot burn fat efficiently. You're not failing the diet. The diet is failing a broken hormonal system. Counterintuitive reveal: eating less and exercising more, the standard advice, can actually make insulin resistance worse short-term if done incorrectly. Extreme caloric restriction spikes cortisol, which raises blood sugar, which demands more insulin. It's a trap that millions fall into every year. The post-meal crash is the #1 sign, but insulin resistance rarely travels alone. Here are 4 others, validated by research, that compound the picture. Intense sugar cravings in the afternoon. Not a preference, a pull. When your cells can't absorb glucose properly, your brain interprets this as starvation and demands fast sugar. It's not willpower, it's chemistry. Skin tags or darkened skin around the neck. A condition called acanthosis nigricans. A 2018 study in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology found this to be a visible skin-level biomarker of insulin resistance, present in over 60% of insulin-resistant patients before any metabolic lab abnormality appeared. Difficulty losing belly fat despite effort. As explained, excess insulin locks fat in place. Brain fog that gets worse after carb-heavy meals. Your neurons aren't just energy hungry, they're insulin sensitive. Impaired insulin signaling in the brain is now being studied as a contributing factor in early cognitive decline. Researchers at the University of Washington have even begun calling Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes in early exploratory literature. If you're nodding at 2 or more of these, this video was made for you. Here's what makes this so frustrating. You go to your doctor. You get a blood panel. It comes back normal. And you leave feeling like you're imagining things. The standard test checks fasting blood glucose. Normal range, under 100 milligrams per deciliter. But here's the problem. In early insulin resistance, your pancreas is working so hard to compensate that your fasting glucose stays normal. The test passes. The problem hides. What you actually want to ask your doctor for: a fasting insulin level and an HOMAIR score, homeostatic model assessment of insulin resistance. These measure how hard your pancreas is working, not just the result. A landmark paper in the New England Journal of Medicine demonstrated that HOMAIR identified insulin resistance with over 80% accuracy in individuals whose fasting glucose was completely normal. Most primary care physicians don't order this test routinely. Not because they don't care, but because guidelines haven't caught up with the research. You have to ask, specifically. Write this down. I'd like a fasting insulin level and HOMAIR calculated, please. That one sentence could change your trajectory. Here's where the research gets genuinely encouraging. Insulin resistance, especially in its early stages, is one of the most reversible metabolic conditions we know of. The same studies that document the damage also document remarkable recovery timelines. 3 evidence-based interventions. 1. Walk after meals. A 2022 randomized trial published in Sports Medicine found that a 10-minute walk within 30 minutes of eating reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30% compared to sitting. Not 60 minutes at the gym. 10 minutes. After eating. 2. Reorder your plate. Eating fiber and protein before carbohydrates blunts the glucose spike. The same cell metabolism research group found that food order alone reduced post-meal insulin demand by up to 46% in insulin-resistant participants. 3. Prioritize strength training over cardio. Muscle is the largest glucose sink in your body. Every pound of muscle you build increases your insulin sensitivity passively, even at rest. The ADA now lists resistance training as a first-line intervention for insulin resistance management. None of these require a prescription. None require perfection. But all 3, done consistently, create compounding metabolic change that shows up in your labs within 8 to 12 weeks. Imagine 8 weeks from now. You wake up and you actually feel rested. You eat lunch and you keep moving through your afternoon without that crash pulling you under. Your clothes fit differently. Your focus is sharper. That's not fantasy. That's what the research documents when insulin sensitivity is restored, even partially. The 5 studies we covered today all converge on the same truth. Insulin resistance is silent, it's widespread, and it's reversible. But only if you recognize the signs early enough to act. The number 1 sign is that energy crash after eating. The one you've been calling normal. It's not normal. It's a signal. Now you know what it means. If this video helped you see something you hadn't seen before, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you want to go deeper, the next video covers exactly what to eat to restore insulin sensitivity in 30 days, based on 8 new clinical studies. It's right here. Watch it next.